IT people of Reddit, what's something you found on someone's computer that made you say, "What the F?" This Indian guy had just left our company. He was extremely conservative. No bullcrap, no joking around kind of guy. Small, glasses, and always dressed in button-ups and khakis. He was pretty high up too, just below director level. Anyway, he left to start his own company and turned his laptop in. You'd think someone working at a technology company would know to use incognito for any naughty stuff they looked at on their work computer, or at least clear browser history. Nope. Every second this guy wasn't looking at email or PowerPoints, big black butts. Constantly browsing for big black butts during work. And that's like all he'd do after work. I don't mean he'd go home and look at big black butts for 20 minutes and jerk off. Every day, 6+ hours of looking at big black butts when he got home. A coworker of mine had his desktop wallpaper set to a selfie of him bawling his eyes out. I was so confused. When I asked him about it, he said, "Everyone has pictures of themselves smiling. Why don't we have other emotions in selfies?" To which I responded, "Because of that," while pointing at his monitor. I love the way he thinks. He's definitely an interesting guy. Thinks outside the box a lot at work, which is nice. The other day he said, "I tried something new today at lunch. I took a bite and just really thought about the food I was eating and how it tasted. It's the slowest I've ever eaten, and it was the best meal I've ever had." Pretty sure it was something very basic from our cafeteria that no one would ever describe as the best ever for anything. I also once had a guy come to me to fix his tablet. He was a larger guy in his 30s with a bare-threaded cat t-shirt. He reeked of both cat and human pee. "I have something wrong with my photo folder," he said, and whipped the tablet towards me. He began slowly scrolling through each photo, with a subdued smile slowly spreading across his face. Each photo was of him completely nude. Some were close-ups of his junk. "Does this make you feel funny?" he said. "I've seen a lot of stuff working in IT, so no. But there's nothing wrong with your folder. Have a good day," I said, and with that I walked off. To be honest though, it gave me the heebie-jeebies. I still sort of wonder if I should have reported him for it. Seems like the digital version of flashing. Used to work for a place that did IT stuff for schools, mainly parochial schools. One of the guys that had to have viruses removed more often than anybody else was a priest/teacher that taught third grade-ish. Every virus came from unsavory sites, and he'd pretty regularly download literal gigabytes of that stuff every week. And this was about 6 years ago, so that's a lot more video than what it would be today, due to video quality increases over time. We were out to clean up his computer about once a week, and the school and the church was getting charged every time. The main reason that we figured out it was from Korn was because the school and the church asked us to look into why he was getting viruses so often. We normally don't look into what they're actually doing unless we're asked to. Browser history was all we ended up needing. I already posted another about a guard at a middle school, but I suppose I'll post another good one. A female teacher at a middle school got caught up in a bit of a mess by using her personal iCloud account on school-issue iPads. You can probably see where this is going. She took a series of nude selfies on her personal iPhone, and they got automatically uploaded to her school iPads. Well, one day the principal of the school grabbed her iPad in a conference room to use it for something and found the pictures. The creepy part of the story is that the principal called me to his office and asked me to retrieve the evidence from the iPad and store it to a thumb drive and deliver it to him. I didn't feel this was appropriate at all, so I let my boss know. He felt the same way and decided to handle the situation. The principal was a 60-something married man, my boss was a middle-aged, openly gay man, and in general just a really nice guy. He realized that it was just a mistake on the teacher's part and helped her to C-degree. The teacher ended up leaving on her own, and the principal apparently wrote her a glowing letter of recommendation. I guess the info about the principal wanting personal copies of the teacher's pictures got out somehow. Not technically IT guy, but copier technician. Not found on computer, but in a copier. Customer called up complaining about how your stupid copier always jams and doesn't work, and it's all your fault, blah blah. The copier hadn't had a single service call place in over 13 months, mind you. I get on site and to the copier. Customer contact is standing over my shoulder, huffing and puffing, just being an insufferable brat in general. I get the jam to occur and discover that a massive monster of a booger has dried up in the paper path. It was solid enough to prevent paper from passing through. I enjoyed getting to tell her why her copier was jamming. There is a paper jam, but it's snot for the reason you think. One of my friends in high school asked me to look at his computer. He said it was being slow and weird. I'm looking around and see a folder that says private. I look in it and it's mainly like tax returns and other like official stuff. Then there's another that says super private. I open it up and it has 4 clips and a picture in it. The first clip was a compilation of Kim Possible grunting. It was like 5 minutes long. Second clip is all 3 of Secretariat's Triple Crown races. Third clip is a 2.5-hour hardcore gangbang. Fourth clip is a little children's choir, which I learned was his little cousin singing Christmas songs. And the picture was a crime scene photo of Nicole Brown Simpson. I asked him about it, and he said it was his special folder. I had never been more confused in my entire life. I work at a college IT department. I didn't see it, but my coworker did. An old guy shows up asking to help send a picture of his ID to his email. I see my coworker start working with him, then immediately set the phone down and walk off as the old guy hastily grabs his phone and stands around awkwardly, not talking or answering any questions when I ask him if everything is all right. Coworker messages me from his phone saying tell him when the old guy leaves. Old guy stands around for 5 minutes and then leaves. Apparently my coworker accidentally swiped to the next photo and it was this old dude's wrinkly hairy dong wrapped up in multiple purple rubber bands. He's coming back from a year abroad this next week, and his workstation is going to be covered with purple rubber bands. Former Geek Squad guy had a few what the F moments. Child corn. Doing a data backup for a customer, and while watching the file transfers, the hard drive disk was struggling, and the copy command failed frequently and had to be restarted. I noticed some suspicious file names. 6-year-old Shy is one that I remember as I put it on the paperwork. I didn't look myself, brought it up to our supervisor who contacted the police. They sent someone and confirmed it. I guess by looking. I don't know how exactly, but that job would suck. Needless to say, hard drive disk, files we recovered, and the computer were all confiscated. Gay corn that you couldn't avoid. So an older dude came in with a problem. Standard operating procedure was to boot the PC, there at the incoming desk, and visually confirm PC functionality. We had a few people not check with dead-on-arrival machines, and the customers blamed the broken machines on us. No checking meant the customer basically got a free machine after putting up a big enough stink. Anyway, I booted up, and bam. Naked dude spread eagle showing off everything he could. I don't swing that way, so I professionally closed the lid, finished the paperwork, and proceeded to put the machine on the incoming bench for the next guy to come in to set up. His scream was priceless when he opened the lid to get it started for diagnostics. Exploded modem. This is more in a PC, but after a particularly severe round of storms in our area, someone brought in a PC which would not dial out anymore. Back in the old dial-up interwebs days, basic troubleshooting confirmed the card was no longer being seen by Windows. I shut down the machine and opened it up to do a quick modem reseat. I pull the card out and quickly state I saw the problem. The main chip had a giant hole in the middle of it, and little pieces of it could be found in the case. Small enough to not really rattle a lot. Turns out a lightning bolt struck a phone pole really close to his home. He was lucky everything else in his machine was unscathed. Please like and subscribe if you've made it this far. I hope you'll enjoy the rest of this video and have a wonderful day. I worked IT years ago. I still do some stuff occasionally to help out family and friends in a bind, mostly hard drive recovery stuff. At this point, it's pretty much expected that there will be some kind of weird, questionable folder that I just leave the contents of alone. Nudes? Yup. Self-made corn? Photos and videos? Yup. Giant caches of corn? Yes, sir. It's all pretty standard stuff in this day and age. I basically treat it like an attorney/client privilege, though. I usually provide them with an ample warning beforehand. This software can recover a lot of stuff, even stuff that you deleted long ago. Typically, their face gives it away that there's going to be something on there. I haven't encountered anything illegal, thankfully. I'd be more concerned that I'd end up going all Dexter-like if I found child corn on someone's computer. The funniest thing I ever encountered, though, was a girl who needed her cell phone recovered. I asked her 3 separate times about the potential content of her phone. She said there was absolutely nothing on there. Only there was. All her, all without clothes on. A lot of different angles, views, perspectives, photos, videos, the works. I think she realized after she left, because when she came back, she was beet red and wouldn't look up from the floor. Had a coworker bring in her husband's computer because it was shutting off all the time. There was huge amounts of weed in all the air vents. He would roll his joints and watch Korn at his desk. He had been doing it for years. I think the street value of that Compaq was probably enough to pay for a new computer.
Click on one of the videos you see on the screen now, or a Karen will sue you.